We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Capital Mindset Show live, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. We sure are having lots of fun.
We are. I'll be right back. My computer crashed. Like my one screen isn't working. So
No worries. I'll just talk my head off to all these gents in here.
Don't talk
and
any shit
gals.
about me. That's the only
And
thing.
gals. I'm finding out in the CM community we have a lot more gals than I thought. So, that's good. A diverse community of people, of like-minded individuals. All right, so I won't cover into the stuff that Andrew and I are going to get into. So for the intro section, I have the timestamps down in the description below. If you guys can check them out, and you can see the description for those timestamps. But yeah, the title of this live stream is purposefully, slightly, somewhat hyperbolic, but it's a continuation of the live stream we had earlier this week. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, recommend you guys, if you want to, follow me on Twitter. And there I share occasional memes, jokes, and thoughts. So you kind of get it all. Let's kind of get into, I guess, a high-level overview before Andrew gets back on, the state of the markets. I'm having a lot of fun, you could say, just watching the utter panic and fear that's sort of taking hold in some retail investors, and we haven't even had I don't think anyone could call this a bear market just yet. And if I look on FinTwit, some of the contras I like to follow here and there, they're not having a good time, to say the least. And then I think on the other side of things, you do still have some level-headed conversations ongoing with people who are a bit, I'd say balanced on this issue. I saw an interesting discussion about, like where we are in terms of fear and the relation to the drawdown and what's causing that. Well, so what's the separation, and kind of looking back and doing a comparison between prior sell-offs, and where they had the rapid change, the rate of change in terms of bullishness to bearishness was as severe as it is today. And the question, of course, it begs itself: why is there this sudden change in sentiment where the market is only down 3%? I believe the S&P is still up 1% on a year-to-date basis. And yet, in some cases, you have people, wiping out their portfolios. Unfortunately, someone, took their life over a meme coin the other day. I believe that was, earlier this week. So we're not in unprecedented times, like we talked about in the last live stream. I think it rhymes a lot with 2021, but, we're not anywhere near 2022. And in fact, actually, if it follows what happened then, sort of like another rhyme to it, not that it's going to happen exactly, 2021 was the peak of the shitco's, the retail shitco's, and then we have the rest of the market fall through in 2022, which could happen again. I don't know. I have no idea. But we'll talk later in this live stream. Oh, you want to get okay? We'll get right into the topic. No prediction, but we can have fun like that.
Sorry, I'm sorry I missed. Where are we going? What's the?
No, I was just talking, for the intro portion, because we're about to hit the. Yeah, I'm filibustering. I was just making sure. Is it my connection or is it Andrew's connection?
I think it's mine.
All right.
Is it? Am I rough?
We're
Can you not hear me?
back. I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. All right. So let's go on to the first topic. We're right on time. I'm trying to time it. So we're at the 6-minute mark, with the intro. So let's talk about the market. what's going on with the market right now. And I guess if you want to start with the fun prediction, we can, or we want to end the segment with the fun prediction. I say we end with the fun prediction.
I think we end. I think you're right. I think you end with it.
Okay. So what's going on in the markets today, Andrew? What's going on? What's happening? I'm confused. I'm scared. I need to be held. I'm emotional today.
First, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Just want to make sure. What happened in the market today was we had a broad sell-off. I think there's a couple things. The first, everyone's reacting to NVIDIA earnings, but I don't actually think it was necessarily NVIDIA earnings because the market was kind of okay this morning. If it was NVIDIA earnings that moved the market, it would have been right off the get-go, I think. I mean, unless you think this is funds that are so large they take a while to move things out. What time did the market really start moving at? Because let's see.
Midday?
It's like
or right after midday.
2 p.m.
Yeah.
2 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure it was partially tariff talk. And was that also when the numbers on the White House layoffs came out, or like that the White House is planning to lay off more and everything? Have you seen the video of Steve Cohen talking about how he feels right now?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
No. How does he feel right now? Is he scared? Is he panicking, or is he?
He's bearish for the first time in a long time.
Is he?
Yeah. So he said, you got Doge, you got tariffs, and you got, was the other one high prices or high valuations?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. We can, let's watch this.
Right.
And just as background. And let me pull up. Steve Cohen, he's 0.72, right?
Mm-hmm.
Legendary investor. He's one of those guys that when he talks, you should listen. Now let me see. Okay.
Why is Fuad sending me $2? $2.
Okay.
I'll answer your question, Fuad.
Okay. So let me share my screen here.
Mm-hmm.
Conference I attended last week.
Volume good?
Yeah, we have it. He was somewhat negative, at least on the kind of on the broader economic picture. Maybe he does, although the Mets are going to have a great season. But take a listen.
In addition, now you have Doge, right? And you know, wherever you lay on the Doge issue, I mean, that's austerity, and austerity. You know, when that money's been coursing through the economy over many years, and now potentially will be reduced or stopped in many ways, has got to be negative for the economy.
Well, if it's Theranos, pretty straightforward, simple thought. But
let me see if I can find they cut out a lot of that interview. Why does CNBC make it? Oh, this is the actual. Why do they cut out?
Well,
CNBC viewers must have the attention span of an ant.
It's also probably to get you to subscribe to CNBC.
But it wasn't a CNBC interview. It was FII Institute.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
So, but he's bearish. He talks about basically. I feel like we've talked about this. I think actually I know that we talked about this ad nauseum. At least I have. For the first, and he kind of was getting to the Steve Cohen was, for the first time in forever, you'll have the U.S. government who was kind of a base support, especially these last 4 years. These last 4 years, and this is not administration because Trump was doing it too at the end of his tenure. So I'm not trying to point this at one administration or another, but the fact is, the deficits that we were running is equal to the deficits we were running like in World War II, in like peak wartime deficits. And what that means is you have all this stimulus running through the economy. Now, what he's saying is if tariffs happen, if Doge does lay off people and pull back on government spending, he had a third thing. He called it a witch's witch's brew or something like that. He called it a brew. He's like, these are all. There was a third thing. I can't remember what it was. These are all negative for the economy, at least in the short term for sure. So on a short term positioning, he's bearish. And this was from 6 days ago. And what do you know? Look at what's happening now. So he was definitely right 6 days ago. I don't know a ton about 0.72 in terms of how frequently they're trading, but I think they're multi-strat because I think they're 50 billion plus AUM. But basically, I think people have been looking for a reason to sell. People have been timid in this market. And NVIDIA's earnings were not blow your socks off earnings, I guess. We can, at least that's how the market interpreted it. And so you have that, and the market wasn't necessarily selling off on that, but then you hear something about tariffs and maybe bonds, and I think there was some unemployment data, and it's just like, okay, down we go. And I felt like this was something that once the momentum started to the downside with how timid the market's been, it's just going to continue. And so that's where I think we're at. I think that's why it sold off today. I mean, the reality is, if you want like my honest truth on why I think we're selling off, it's because we are at crackhead multiples right now. Not necessarily on the SPY, but on like the stock market. I look around, I see these high beta stocks that are just trading at ridiculous valuations. Even the S&P 500 is a high valuation. You have, just in my opinion, an extremely frothy market. And I think what that's led to is, if you find a reason to sell, you're going to sell. It's basically, people went from, in 23 and 24, it's a stock would have to give you a reason to sell. Now a stock has to give you a reason to hold it. That's how they've shifted, at least in the short term. And I think that's what's happened. Do I think, and I'm not going to get into the prediction, but I think that's kind of summarizing where we're at right now. What are your thoughts, Mario?
Yeah, I think it's a good summary. I mean, we put out so here I'll actually pull up the actual video. Give me a second. I should have had this already pulled up.
Since you're pulling it up, I have a funny thing. Did you see my tweet today?
Which tweet?
The one that says where we're at in the cycle.
Pull it up so we can see it.
It's like my favorite tweet that I've done in a long time, but my tweets don't get a lot of traction unless I like mention tickers, because that's how you get views. I don't care.
Okay, so let me put your tweet up here.
Just as I think we're at the part of the cycle where the 23 and 24 year-to-date bros.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. All the year-to-date bros who don't show 2022, this is them. This is them. So this is why in the thumbnail I put, when the tide recedes, you see who's wearing pants. That means something for moments like 2022 and maybe 2025. We'll see. But hey, at the very least, all you're seeing is like, who are the degenerates who position themselves degenerately, and market goes down 3%, they get wiped.
Yeah, I'm hearing like a lot of people starting to quote Warren Buffett. It's kind of
there's blood on the streets, man. There's blood on the streets.
Well, and Peter Lynch. I heard a lot of like, hey, you make money with your stomach, not with your brain. And I'm like,
you make
oh
money
my
with your
god.
stomach, not with your brain. Yeah. I mean, hey, how many people did we see, saying, and we were joking like, it's top signal number 517. Warren Buffett, he's washed, man. He's washed.
Okay, do you want to go through some of the top signals that we saw? Now that we were calling this for, this was like 4 months.
Yes. And well, I was going to show the call to action we did on the
okay.
weekly
No,
call.
go for that. Go for that.
Yeah. So this is the weekly call we do every week for members. And actually, after this, I'm going to be doing the weekly call tonight for all of the members.
In fake alias, yes. SPY is flat year to date. It's 0.
It's not even negative.
If you're
it's not
crying, if you're like stressed right now, this could go a lot. Like, I don't know where, I don't want to get prediction, but like, you need to rethink how your portfolio is structured if you're stressed right now. But go ahead.
No. I mean, I guess we've talked a little bit about what we discussed here live in the last live stream, and then a lot of the same things are relevant today. It's like we're going to be kind of parroting and saying the same things, but effectively, we were in a part of the market where it was really beneficial to start taking hedge positions, shorting beta, playing defensively, and playing defensively on that part is more so going long defensive, short beta, and then you actually can produce some alpha in this environment. That's exactly what's kind of happening right now. We're going to talk specific stocks here because at this point in time, it's like, I feel like the members in the CM community have had plenty of time to actually stifle through those or shift through those ideas, so we can talk about them publicly. But yeah, no, it was wonderful to kind of watch how this like massive movement of just retail confidence, fester in the
Retail
market,
inflows.
and then just, oh, well, that was more so speaking to the data, right? So looking at the data, retail inflows was at a relative high. Adjusted for inflation, the margin data, arguably it's like we still have room to go before we hit an all-time high, inflation adjusted. But on a nominal basis, we did hit that all-time high. So yeah, that's just a bit of the guest positioning, you could say, which I'm saving for when we get to. I think I have that sectioned off for. Let me see the next 2 sections. But yeah. So as far as oh no, this is another thing I wanted to bring up. Hold on, I have this kind of more comedic joke for us to look at because I thought this was funny, so I went ahead and I tweeted it. It was a quote tweet on something I think rings very true. So Ruth Capital said the following: if you round tripped your entire portfolio gains, you're a certified Kemmer. I don't say that R word. That's a mean word. So I use synonyms with the R word. You're a certified Kemmer and should close the account. So yeah. And then I added this one, which one of the club members gave me this photo. This does not originate for me, but I thought it was great. So you can just read it for yourself. I won't read that out loud. And what I've said here is true. It's we haven't had anything yet. What I'm referring to is, of course, let me actually show everyone. So let me remind you, what are we looking like? Is the world over? Is the world ended? No, we're flat year to date. That's what you're dealing with. We are flat on a year to date basis, and some people out there have blown up their accounts. So things could get way worse. And I'm not saying the market, as in when I say the market, I'm referring to the broad index. It might not even be a red year. As we discussed in the last live stream and on Cashflow King, shout out to Cashflow King. I see Ryan Dengler was in the chat. They were nice enough to invite me on over the weekend. And that was my first public discussion since the weekly call. So that was my first kind of introduction to how I felt about this market. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. We also went on Strongman Personal Finance's stream and we talked about the clown market resurging. But when we're looking at where we are, there is a case to be made that the broader market could still do well, right? But pardon my French here, the retail shitcos, sorry, Ryan Dingling, got to correct myself. I see you in the chat, Ryan Dingling. The retail shitcos could suffer a substantial pullback. And so that's what the call to action was. You play defensively here, you short high beta, and in theory, what we thought is you could do very well. And there's plenty of actual retail shitcos that arguably are still interesting shorts. And we talked about them in the last live stream. We'll talk about them again today.
I'd say most of them.
Yeah, probably most of them. Some people think it's, too late. There's not enough juice left to squeeze. They're like, no, these things are worthless in some cases.
Well, I wouldn't say worthless. I just think they're very over. I think a lot of these stocks, I mean, you have 50% retail investor base that bought it because it went up without any care for valuation.
Yes.
So,
And I'd argue, I mean, they're still not there yet where they're in full panic, because I think still there's a lot of retail that is hold strong. This is buy the dip opportunity. So the blood isn't even in on the streets yet.
no, it's
There's
not.
like a little trickle on the street.
I was watching like a couple of retail investor streams, and a lot of them were asking like, how do you guys feel right now? And it was about 60-40 buy the dip to not buy the dip.
60-40. So we're not there yet.
No, but and here's the thing is like, the thing I'm wondering that's interesting to me is if we think about it, like, what's the catalyst that's going to take the market up before next earnings season?
So,
because like usually markets, they trend in the direction they've been trending until you kind of have some kind of change. Could be Trump doing something.
Yeah. I was about to say to you, there could be two things. There could be a cessation completely of the tariffs, so an actual resolution there.
Yeah,
that's something that could happen. And then another thing that could happen is some sort of, unforeseen actual peace deal in Ukraine.
Okay,
that could be a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we don't know, for example, if in the next couple weeks or so, the Trump administration actually gets something signed with Ukraine, the minerals rights deal that's still not closed completely. But if there is some sort of peace negotiation that is successful in Ukraine, that could be a catalyst. The tariff cessation could be a catalyst. But yes, other than that, I don't really see anything else.
Fed coming out with surprise cuts.
Would that be? Hold on. I like where you went with that, but think about that for a moment here. Would that be a bullish signal, or would that be an uh-oh?
I don't know how the market would react to that.
Well, because I think for now, yeah, exactly. To be honest, who am I kidding? I have no idea how the market's going to react. I can see both arguments, right? Both sides. And I'm not making a bet one way or another. So this is just a fun prediction, right? We're not even positioned for something like that. But if the Fed cuts rates,
my port wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, well, you mean it wouldn't mind because it would actually benefit from that?
Yeah.
Am I positioned that way too? That I don't know, because I don't really view my positions really as too much. I think I could argue one of them.
I like how we talk this cryptically.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We're trying our best.
I think you're one that's like a special kind of stock that you're not supposed to be able to. That one would.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's what I was thinking about too, by the way. But the private equity, no, it's more capital markets that it worries about than actual treasury or short term.
Right. Have we discussed Misty yet? Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there. That's towards the end. You can see in the description below the topics. It's towards the end. So we have a question here. How bad would an even have to be for us for the Fed to surprise cuts? Well, we would have to see, or they would have to see, very negative economic data coming alongside or in the form of very strong weakening inflation. And then what I was about to say after that, or is like, even deflation. There are different metrics that look at adjustments for the inflation figure that suggest, I'm blanking on the name for it. If someone could help me in the chat, if you recall, but it adjusts and takes the proper rent into account for housing costs. And it actually suggests that inflation was about one something percent. So basically inflation's gone. And then if you look at tariffs, right, or the threat of tariffs are a one-time expense increase, and it's a cost push inflation, not a demand-driven inflation. So typically, in theory, the Fed would have to kind of look past that and look through that inflation at what is more the underlying pinning of inflation. Because when you're dealing with rates, as the theory goes, rates are going to be affecting in macro aggregate demand. And so when you're dealing with cost push inflation, aggregate demand starts to be a little finicky as far as really affecting or pulling the levers to bring down inflation, because more of a supply issue than anything else. So you could push aggregate demand down, but really the tools of the Fed in theory go on more so the demand side. Yep.
No, never mind. I was going to ask a stupid question, but I'll ask anyways, but then I answer it in like 2 seconds. Because
Okay.
Fake Alias said, I want to see Powell do a surprise rate hike just to see retail freak out. I was like, could that be interpreted bullishly? No. So that's what I was just thinking through.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, well, this sell-off, by the way, and kind of getting into the aggressiveness of the sell-off in retail shitcos is 100% due to the margin figure that we talked about in the last live stream. And what I discussed here as well. So in the weekly call for February 19th, one of the things we talked about a lot was the margin, right? The margin levels that we're at right now. So it's no, let's call or say
margin calls every week.
Yes, we know someone who's getting margin called every week, right? They're synonymous with a certain word at this point. And I feel, and by the way, for everyone listening, I don't feel bad because I tried to save that person. This person chose poverty, so it's their fault.
You can't feel bad if you tell someone like, hey, don't walk off that cliff. And he's like, you're stupid. And like, no, and you show them the cliff and you go, if you walk off that cliff, you're going to fall 2,000 feet on the sharp rocks. And like, I'm doing it anyways. And people are like, oh, it feels sad. No, like what? He did this willingly.
We're going to talk about this later, but I think you said the guy did a video or whatever, and he said mistakes were made. Like,
the video title, the live stream title is My Mistakes.
Wow, no one saw that coming, buddy. Anyway. So the sensitivity we're seeing in those retail stocks, which by the way, should I tell them the story of my broker when I called my broker and my guy at my broker, what he said to me? What happened? You're staring at something.
MicroStrategy's down 6% overnight. Misty's about to implode.
Wait, MicroStrategy's down how much?
6%. I'm going to tell you guys one position I have, or two positions. One is a short MicroStrategy. The other is a 2x short MicroStrategy.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because MicroStrategy was like retarded.
I said the
word. Oh gosh,
dude, the MicroStrategy subreddit is like pain. You go there and people are like, I don't know how much.
Andrew, turn off your camera. Go change your shirt. You can't be wearing this shirt. Go get the other shirt on, the real one. Yeah, the real one.
I'll be right back.
I'll distract the audience while you go wear that shirt. The audience wants that shirt. Oh, all right. Yeah. We shouldn't be laughing right now at this section. I'm sorry. It's just, you can tell I'm excited, or we're excited about tomorrow. We've been excited about this whole week. All right. So while he's gone and changing his shirt to something that more befitting of the so okay, I can't look at the comments. You guys are making me laugh because it's really funny. What's happening? But anyways, so yeah, MicroStrategy being down 6% is frankly nothing. I think it should be down way more. I mean, it has been crashing. Let's pull up MicroStrategy because this stock is probably among the most insane aberrations in finance I've ever seen. And it's a real pleasure to see it actually correct. But on a more Sincere Base is like, I genuinely think, going back to what we were discussing before, the veracity of the sell-off, I think, is directly tied to all of the margin that we saw. And when Andrew gets back, I'll go into the story that I had this conversation with my broker, and this is more obvious stuff, because actually I think Robinhood publishes, or there are different sources that publish like the top stocks on Robinhood, but kind of getting into it a little bit on a high level. A lot of the retail stocks, there's so much overlap between these investors. So, the same investor in Palantir probably has MicroStrategy in their portfolio, probably has Hims Hers in their portfolio, probably has SoFi in their portfolio. So they have like this broad, kind of like if you draw a Venn diagram, there's just like all these connections. And of course, you have the people that are isolated into like the one stock, the all-inners. But amongst just like the regular average retail crowd, there's a ton of overlap. And even in like some of these other, what were extremely fascinating shorts that Andrew's been leading the charge on these. And then there's other people out there, like Martin Shkreli, shout out to him in this instance. Like, he was also very publicly leading charge. While he was a bit early, right? I think he handled it very well in terms of like execution and hedging himself. So even though he was early, he will come out on top. And that's, of course, in the quantum computing shorting. But nonetheless, we're about to be graced. Heck yes. All right.
MSTU?
Wait, let me put myself.
MSTU? MSTZ? Rex shares. Can you get the flex in on the Rex shares? Right there. See? T-Rex. We can do it. You gotta do 2 fingers.
It's too funny. It's too funny. All right. We're having a lot of fun this stream. So we'll be serious and we'll have fun, right? If you can't handle having fun while also being serious and making money, it's not the right community for you.
Well, here's the other thing. For me, at least, you saw how I was positioned short. Today was, I think that today, for a certain section of my shorts, it's like, for me, I was like ready to cry the other day. I was like, it's over. It's done. I won. Like, I don't think that sector comes back in any meaningful way. Like, it's not going to go up to anywhere close to my cost basis. My cost basis is like 50% higher.
Mm-hmm. We're being asked, what did we ingest through inhalation?
Gains.
That's what it is.
Tiers of retail baggies.
More gains tomorrow to come. That's it. You can't hold in genuine joy. It's not possible. So, anyways,
I'll tell you one more story, because I've talked about this. So I'm up, I think 10%. We'll see after today, 10, 11% year to date, something like that. And I think I told you this before stream, but I was telling my wife, I'm like, no, my account's up, like our account's up like 10, 11%, and the market's flat. She's like, okay, is that good? It's like, all right, well, but
can't impress them.
But at the same time, I kind of think that's a blessing too, because like, if you think about, do you really want your spouse that involved with you in the stock? Like, you don't want too many cooks in the kitchen on one account. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's the real genius. She's like, yeah, that's why I let you do it. I just delegate to you.
That's good.
Anyways, okay, let's move on.
All right, so what I was going to say earlier about what my conversation was with the broker was, he commented to me, this was today when I was calling in to increase a short. He said, he asked me, he's like, hey, like, I'm looking at your portfolio and you're short, these names. And it's like, can you talk me through it? Right. And then, we go through like the thesis, on like a high level. And then he brings out that like, yeah, I see these stocks a lot.
Yeah.
which by the way, matches what it shows on like Robinhood in terms of like what are the top stocks. And it's like all the same. It's like all the portfolios are all the same. So all the people, always quoting Buffett, it's so funny. It's like they have no idea what any of the words mean. They just say the words. So it's like, be greedy when others are fearful, be fearful when others are greedy. And it's like, they are all greedy for the same stock.
Well,
they're like with the crowd.
You quote Warren Buffett, and you're buying on margin when he's building his biggest cash pile ever. And like, regardless if you think that's the right move by Warren.
You're right. No, you're right. Yeah. He's building up cash. Whether or not it's the right move, like you said, separate discussion entirely. But to use him as a kind of a discussion point, so to speak. By the way, I don't want to like. There are people who are like false value investors out there on YouTube. We've called them out before. One of them, it brought you guys, the audience, brought to my attention. They lost 30% shorting Pinduoduo. I don't watch this guy anymore, but I only know that. Yeah, Paul.
He shorted Pinduoduo, or are you talking NVDA?
No, Pinduoduo. This was recent. They told me last live stream. The chat did. Confirmed. Chat, I'm going to rely on you guys as a confirmation tool because you guys gave me that information last time. So you guys confirm to me in the chat if this is true or not. Or was I lied to?
I don't understand.
I don't know why Pinduoduo or what his thesis was, because I just don't watch him. But if it was something, it was probably dumb. So, anyways,
doesn't make sense. I think it's really hard in general to invest in other countries, short, long, not to mention short, when you do not understand the geopolitical environment there. Like, I can conceptually understand what China's geopolitical environment is. I don't live there. I don't know what's going on day to day. Like, I just don't.
Can you remind us, Lakers in 4, what's the hierarchy of needs? You're the one who created it, and I thought it was hilarious. Okay, so I guess we can finish off this section with market predictions.
Okay,
for fun.
I am going to predict. Okay. Elon Musk said very publicly that their goal is to get. Did you see what Elon Musk said? And he's, very close to Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He has said very publicly, they are trying to bring down what are they trying to bring down?
The deficit.
Well, I was going to say yields.
Oh, yes.
That's their
put.
Their puts on yields. This administration has done a lot more things that they said they'd do than I think anyone has given them credit for. Like, I think they're trying to bring down yields.
Well, what are rates been doing? What's the long end of the curve doing right now?
Why do I own TLT? So, it's been coming down. I think that continues. I don't know what their goal is. I don't know how much pain they're okay to take. I think Trump still likes the stock market. I don't know. But Trump's even said, like, yeah, there's going to be some short-term pain maybe. I'm going to call 5% pullback.
So end of year, we're down 5%, or intra-year, we're down 5%.
Next 2-3 months, 5%.
Dude, that would be nice.
I think, okay, the one thing I'll say for certain, I can't tell you where the market will be. I can tell you there will be volatility. There will be. And so the one thing I'd say then is there's a lot of guys that like to, one of the things that's happened in 23 and 24 that's become popular is being short volatility strategies. And do you know what short volatility strategies are?
Which one's the one that you advocated for?
No. Short volatility, I'm being cryptic because I'm an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Short volatility strategies are the wheel. When you're running the wheel and you're selling cash secured puts, what you're doing is being short volatility. I don't like that here. I think volatility will happen, and either try to lessen volatility in your portfolio by going less long beta, be okay with the volatility, or try to play the volatility. But that's kind of how I see it.
Yep. Which I think in the case of what we've set up, right? It's I don't think there will be volatility in all sectors. That's not what you're saying.
No, not all sectors, but volatility will pick up, is what I'm saying.
Yes. And there's been some, you could argue, like this unprecedented smoothness to, not unprecedented. That's not true either. That's definitely not true. But a resurgence in just like smoothness up and to the right. You're reading Alaka's comment, aren't you?
Yes.
All right, fine. Let's read. This is the hierarchy of needs, according to Alaka, which I always find funny when he says it. All right, number one, you have to make money from your investments. Number two, build a community of people who also make money off of their investments. Then number three, dunking on people who are arrogantly wrong and feasting on the blood of your enemies.
You make this up?
I mean, we created all these like meme channels, just to like.
I've never seen this one.
You've never seen this?
No.
No, Alaka is on point. Sometimes he calls it as he sees it. He just like, these are the hierarchy of needs. After you go through the cycle, this is like, you have to fulfill all these needs. You're never getting your dog back. I'm sorry.
I thought he got it back.
But he keeps losing it because he keeps betting it all on red.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He never learns. But okay, so prediction for this year. I don't want to take yours because I agree with you, so I'm going to just say a different one just to have fun with it. And I'm going to make a compelling case. I'm going to actually take the optimistic side of things. I'm going to say we do have something that surprises us here soon. And I don't have inside information or anything, right? So
I don't know. Where's FinTech Boy in chat? Go along beta right now.
Hold on. But not just yet, but potentially soon. That might be like a switch, so to speak. And
can I?
Yeah.
I was just asking FinTech.
Okay.
I have heard traders say that if NVIDIA holds below 121 tomorrow, it's over.
What?
That's all I'm saying. If it holds,
if it holds 121
below 121.
Oh, below 121, it's over. Okay. So
what I've theorized, along with FinTech Boy, is that is there a cabal of traders and they have just all met together and agreed that if NVIDIA is below 121 tomorrow, they're just going to sell. It's the Citadels and the Millenniums and the 0.72s the world. They're like, NVIDIA holds below 121, we sell. Okay, shake on it. Okay, good. Okay.
Oh, these are people who are serious who say this.
Yes.
Oh God. Okay. NVIDIA will hold below 120 tomorrow, 121 tomorrow, and the contras are contras, and they continue to be contras. And when they flip bearish, we flip bullish. But anyways, that's my fun prediction. My fun prediction is more optimistic. I want to take the optimistic side because Andrew took the, I wouldn't say even pessimistic. You're not predicting like a crazy crash. You're just predicting a correction, a healthy correction, which I think is fair. That doesn't mean your retail shit doesn't die. Your retail shit will die, but It's only a matter of time.
SPY went down 3%, and a lot of retail companies went down 40%. If it goes down 5%, they might go down another 60%. I mean, not all these companies are a complete shitcoast, to be clear.
No,
But
no.
MicroStrategy, I could see another 50% cut from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, well, the underlying asset is simply only, hey, what is the next person willing to pay for it? It could do whatever. It could go up infinitely. It could go down to zero. But it's the prisoner's dilemma. If none of us sell, it can't go down.
MH makes a really good point. There's still quality stocks, so why can't the shitcoats go down, but money transfer to good companies? We are seeing that happening.
That's what I'm saying. And by the way, it is happening, just not in the ways you think, right?
Mm-hmm. That's happening.
So there are stocks that money is flowing to as we speak, that they are going up on days like today. So I had 3 of my largest holdings go up on today.
Fintech Boy asked, what's MicroStrategy NAV on BTC holdings? I want to say they have 400,000 BTC.
Yeah.
So right now, 32 billion, and MicroStrategy is at 60 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. No, doesn't make sense to me, but hey, what do I know? And
Bitcoin doesn't pay interest.
That's kind of where I think this year is going to, well, it's already, like we already said, that is what's happening. It's not anything other than that. Retail shitcoats die and the quality survives. And then the retail investor, when I say retail investor, all of us here are retail investors. You guys all listening are all retail investors. But it's the other, we're the star bellies. They're the
I got that reference. Holy shit.
We're the star bellies. They're not the star bellies. They're different from us. We are not the same.
Dude, I love that one as a kid. As a kid, I love that movie or like small show because I like seeing them run through all the things and how like fancy the contraptions they made were.
What it needs to be is everyone who's watching right now, go get a tattoo with the CM logo, just like on your chest. It's like, are you a retail investor? Yeah, but I'm not the same.
I don't have a star. I might bet it.
Retail investors are regarded investors, highly regarded investors. Let's be serious about that. Mm-hmm. All right, but yeah, in effect, that's kind of how I think this plays out. Retail shitcoats die, quality survives, quality endures, and that's a healthy healing process. I don't see yet the catalyst that we saw in 2021, like liquidity crunch, right? Mm-hmm. That I think you had plenty of time also to kind of identify, but yeah, just like
this
now,
is so different in 2020.
Yeah, it's completely different. We were low rates to high rates. Now we are middle of the road rates, and then we just don't know where we're going, right? We don't know if there's some threats that it stays flat, right? Higher for longer, goes up, and then there's a camp that says we go down. But for what reasons do we go up? What reasons do we go down?
I do want to say one other thing. This is a very U.S. centric stream. European companies are ripping this year.
Yeah, they're doing great.
One thing that a lot of people have talked about, and I think is true, Europe and a lot of the world went through a recession from like 22 to 24, like an extended kind of recession, right?
Yep.
And they're coming out of it now. The U.S. kind of staved it off, I think in large part to government spending. And so there is a chance that it's kind of like, hey, now the rest of the world's going, now we're coming out of it, and the U.S. it's kind of like, and I still think the U.S. had a better economy than a lot of them, but the U.S. was going up like this, and the rest of the countries are like this, and now they're coming up, and the U.S. is going to come down, they'll kind of meet. It's not like the U.S. is going to drop off, but they might just kind of meet in the middle, or they'll just kind of normalize again. But you always give me crap about some of the UK companies I buy. I was just like, the value investor in me couldn't turn them down because of how cheap they are. Oh yeah. So, and yeah, I mean that's one of them, and and that could be the trend. that happens as well.
Yeah.
Which also, if you get rate cuts, U.S. dollar goes down, which is going to be good for international stocks.
Yes, because right now there's dollar strength on a relative basis, which begs the argument or brings up the argument. It's like, as American investors, we should be kind of favoring. We should have been. So if you're rushing now, I mean, I don't think it's too late necessarily, but should have been trying to capture some international codes. But yep, there's Grab, there's Evolution Gaming, there's
Ferrari. Ferrari's kind of interesting right now because that family that's selling out their stake.
Are they selling off?
Yes.
How bad? Like, is this it? Is this all 8%?
For 8% for Ferrari? On just a large shareholder selling out?
I guess so. It is a company that decides how much money they're going to make every year. So
this is a defensive company. This is a company that right now would normally be getting inflows.
Yeah.
But that's one. There's an IWG company. I see New, Mealy, SE, Baba. SGA.
Yeah, Melly's been doing very well.
Say the name.
Mercado Libre.
You should just pick up girls with that. You just walk up, like your pickup line, and be like, I don't know. You just say Mercado Libre like that. Boom.
New Holdings. This one's pulled back a lot, though. It's basically given up most of the gains that it had here.
Here's my issue is you understand this. I don't understand the geopolitical situation south of here. And I just have a hard time investing in that. I feel like some of the European countries, like the UK and stuff like that, like I feel like the economic or geopolitical situation is more stable, at least. I just don't know with Latin America.
No, yeah, frankly, it's a little bit complicated, but for the most part, I can kind of attest to Mercado Libre's like ability to operate in basically any jurisdiction. So hats off to the management team there. They even do business in Venezuela. So nothing can stop them, if I'm being honest. Yeah, so it's a great business.
I have Coupang.
Yeah, Coupang is another one that's pretty good. TSM is international, but it's so heavily tied right now to just US semis. So it moves in lines. But I looked at a few others, like Hermes has actually pulled back a little bit. LVMH seems to have pulled back a little bit. So a lot of European companies, maybe excluding IWG, because IWG is going to be tied to rates falling. IWG goes up. BTI is international, right? It has a lot of its sales from the United States, but that was what I was going to get to. A lot of these European stocks, they derive so much of their earnings from the United States. It's like the market does tend to tie them up now. But yeah, from the most part, I still view a lot of, American stocks as attractive. Like there's sectors right now that are on sale. Pharma still looks interesting. Pharma looked interesting not too long ago. Very interesting because it was sold off for dumb political reasons.
Remember our 2025? We talked about what to go long. We said it was pharma, defensive, and DC. DC's been meh. The other two have been pretty good.
DC, I think, is still going to do well this year. It's just going to take a couple quarters for the market to go, these earnings are pretty resilient. Here we go. Regardless of tariffs or whatever happens, I think those earnings are going to be fairly resilient, depending on what we're discussing in DC, because you know how I feel about the energy side.
Yes,
so,
I agree.
And you see what happened today?
No, what happened?
My friend. They reported. You know what the concerns came about?
What? Oh,
Energy
wait.
may not be as scarce as once believed.
Who could have predicted that?
You know, there's a guy who's like smarter, I think, than both of us, and
Yeah.
he was saying, "Hey, you regards,
No,
you highly
okay.
regarded individual." You know, he was
There's someone, and I don't he's someone who I like look up to, right? And when I talk to him, I'll say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he'll usually be like, I'll give an example. Back in the day, I thought Olaplex was an interesting buy, and I went to him and I said, "Yo, Olaplex seems pretty interesting. Like they're growing good. They got really good margins." And he looked at, he pulled up Olaplex, he pulls up L'Oreal, and he said, their margins are like 2x L'Oreal. It's like, did they find the magic like pill, or do you think they're just over earning? It's like, shit. And that saved me. Now I was already down like 50% on Olaplex at that point, but I sold it, and like a few days later, it went from 10 to 4. And look at it now. What's Olaplex at now?
OLPX, right?
Yeah.
Should have held it. You should have been a long-term investor.
Go max for 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you just weren't enough of a long-term investor.
Yeah.
That was your problem.
But this individual I also went to about IEPs, or independent energy producers, and he was one that had me, because he told me, he said, and he made a very great point.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, what do you think about Talon, CEG, and VST? And he said, one, I don't think energy is as scarce as it should be. And he said, two, if something's more efficient, it does not need more power. Like eventually it will get taken down, inference, or you find another power source. And he said, one of two things is going to happen. You're going to have LNG come in and fill the void in the meantime. Or everything's going to get pushed to inference, and the power isn't going to be that big of a deal.
Yep.
And yeah. So I don't know why he talks to me. I enjoy talking to him. But no, we have a good conversation. But yeah, so super, super smart person, and was the original person. And I talked about this. It was the original reason why with Talon, I was like, small allocation and kind of quick to cut, which served very well when I cut. What's Talon at now?
Talon is basically at 200.
Okay.
So it's down from the exit, but
yeah.
And they reported earnings as well after hours. They announced more repurchases, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, the thesis breaks, and the reason, for context, everyone listening, I got out of Talon, and the reason why I got out of Talon when I did was I had a fear that starting with the new Trump administration, it would take just a focus, a shift in focus towards making sure that we don't close current capacity, which a lot of the scarcity argument came from that. And a lot of bulls in Talon may not fully appreciate that we don't really have scarcity in infrastructure for productive capacity. We really just have a lot of scheduled closures. All it takes is a motivated administration to come in and remove those. And then suddenly you break the core of the thesis. And that goes for all of them. Now, the difference with Talon, which is different from CEG and VST, but at the end of the day, it doesn't breed confidence, is that Talon is an acquisition target, because technically on the replacement value thesis, they do fit there as well. That could change if the United States decides to get far more efficient in their ability to produce nuclear reactors, which is a separate discussion on that note. But the thesis relies a lot on them getting acquired by, I don't know, Constellation, VST, maybe VST unlikely, but Constellation probably, or some sort of private equity investor. The problem is private equity, at least the large boys, they probably are knowledgeable enough to know what the true scarcity is. And so you're playing a game of hot potato, hoping someone's a moron and going to buy you at a massive premium. And if that happens, that was your win. Either way, it was a great win, especially with the synthetic position that we had. But it was time to call it just based off the risks, right? And so now it's actually lower than the exit. So for now, it looks good. It's also very, I forget what the it's a very volatile stock, extremely volatile. So it's very normal for me to look at the chart here and say, oh wow, it's having like a 7% down day, 5% up day, 12% down day. I think VST is even more. VST is probably the most of the three. Yeah, look at this, 12% down day. I mean, this thing's wild swings. So, yeah, Tesla's another one. Remember? Oh, Tesla
remember you were making fun of me for shorting Tesla at 480?
Yeah, I do.
Huh. Don't come at me. What am I?
There was one guy in Ryan's server who I'm not making fun of this guy at all, but when he said something, and Ryan can attest to this if he's still awake, or Fiscal, I don't know if you saw it, but the person said something with Tesla, saying, Tesla, the stock doesn't go down, something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. I'd have to search the exact comment, but I responded, this comment just made me go short Tesla, and we did the credit spreads.
Mm-hmm. And we're not holding them anymore.
No, but we should have.
With we should have just gone direct short instead of credit spreads. But
no, Rob, we're dumb.
No, credit spreads are really the right play at the time.
Yeah,
because when momentum's like that, you want to just take. I don't think you want to do a direct short.
No. Oh my God, Tesla's down to 281.
What is Tesla at?
Dude, these retail guys are getting wrecked.
Oh yeah.
This is the most Kemmer thing I've ever seen in my life.
So, what's Coney at?
Oh yeah, that's another one. Shout out to Coney 2012.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, year to date, what is it?
Year to date, down 28%.
Imagine.
Don't we live in a simulation, right? We live in some sort of simulation where year to date, there's a lot of these stocks down 28%.
Interesting.
Almost like they're connected with a lot of people on margin holding these things. Dude, I don't know.
What was it that broke? It was when Palantir broke. As I just happened to pull, and he was right, and he said the second it
Wait, Andrew, you're freezing. Hold on. Technical difficulties.
Sorry, but this was back. Go on the month chart. There was one day it went from it fell really fast. But the initial fall that day, and he was completely right to say this. He just said, "Give me beta." He was asking the chat, "Give me beta tickers." And he's like, "HIMS hits the short. AppLovin hits the short." All these things, he just starts hitting the short. SMCI hits the short, and he was right, because he goes, these things are all correlated. He goes, you think it matters? You're thinking like a fundamental investor. Right now, flows are going to say these things are all crashing together. And he's right. The guy, I really think he's really intelligent. He just needs to maybe, I like the guy. Maybe he's got some interesting historical things, but it seems like, he knows his stuff. He's one of the few people that you can watch who just streams every day that was a literal Wall Street hedge fund manager. So
I'm gonna post this for comedic effect, because here I'll put it up.
Yes, Scully is weird, but super, super smart. That's a very good.
The day
Yeah.
2/19/2025.
No, do the other one that he shared, that he said, the second part to that.
Oh yeah, the second part. All right, I got you. That part was funny. The reaction afterwards.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get this. Oh, I just saw that what someone responded to me when I said, yeah, I think this is gonna work out. Someone responded, famous last words. I mean, you're talking about this part, right? Wait, because this was funny. Yeah, hold on. I'll post it here. It takes me a minute because I gotta take a screenshot, copy it, then put it up on screen. This one was funny. I laughed. This is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Bio Kramer, Fabian. Started a short ladder attack. Clown market is over. That was the top of the clown market. I'm fairly certain all the retail stocks, that was their death. It was on the 19th.
What was the crazy theory on a short ladder attack? How that even works? It's like you short and then you buy it back and then you short again.
Yeah.
But how does that?
It was a short ladder attack.
But it's a net zero.
You're just trying to panic retail.
Oh, so it's like hitting stops.
Yeah. You're trying to panic yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the top. At least I can say I'm probably not a contra. When my left testicle starts to vibrate, it's like it's gotta listen to it. It's just like, wow, that's the signal. It's the gut feeling. Well, the other kind of feeling. All right, if you don't like jokes, then it's not the right community for you. Yeah, exactly. If you don't like jokes, not right community for you. You gotta like jokes too. All right.
Futures are flat, but Bitcoin, which is the real futures market, is at 80,000 on the dot.
I think the 254 people who are watching right now, which by the way, thank you guys for giving us your time, and feel free to like, share, subscribe. And hope you guys are enjoying it so far. I think what they want is, kind of some discussion about tomorrow, right? So we know one thing, and we'll get into specifics because I think that's something people appreciate, some specific shorts. There are shorts that are going to work tomorrow. I don't know about the long side. I think more of the same, defensive names, they're going to work well tomorrow, either way. I was saying in the last live stream why I'm surprised we haven't had, some sort of like bounce back. And I thought today was it, right? I thought today was that bounce back, and whoop, got taken away.
I thought today too. I was looking at, and I woke up and I looked in my shorts because their piles of shit were up 4%, and I was just mad. And I went and took a shower, and I come out and I was like, "Oh, they're down. That's cool." And then I'm working, and they're down 15%.
Well, I made a point because I don't know why IonQ got bought up on that report. I got lucky because I thought it hit like escape velocity downward. And, that's why I joked with you when I texted you. I was like, I called my insider. He pumped the stock so I could get.
Dude, Darcy and I are convinced that you cheat. I don't know how, but you do. Okay? Because, that report was dog shit. That report deserved 30% down.
The Google chart won't give it justice. If you have a chart that can show the after hours of yesterday to show the audience, what happened, it fell. And I was telling Andrew, I was like, dang, I messed up. I'm under allocated. I should have, shorted. We knew these earnings were going to be terrible. I was scared that, for sometimes some of these companies, it's like terrible earnings, but the stock still goes up, right? And so I was just being a little bit precautious. I shouldn't have been, but I got lucky that the market was for whatever reason, buyers came in and bid it up, and then you got an opportunity right in the morning to get in. No idea why. And that's what we were referring to. You can't see it in this chart really well, but after hours yesterday tanked. If you pull it up on screen, if you find something to show.
I just want to see if I can pop it out, and then I'll do it. Yeah, let me pop it out here.
And so just to be clear,
So here, I got it here in my charting.
Oh, our sponsor, Yahoo Finance. By the way,
not Yahoo Finance. I'm sorry,
but it could be.
I do like Yahoo Finance. I do. I use it all the time, and actually, their app's really good. This is Godel though. So,
all right,
so right here,
what happened?
See this massive candle right here? That's the initial earning after the reaction after hours earnings.
I'm laughing because I got stupid lucky. Look at that absolute dumb move.
Yeah, and so you see this, and then people are like, no, let's put it up, and they're like, here, Fabio, a gift for you.
No, because I was upset yesterday. We were on voice chat, and I was like, dang it, no, I missed the opportunity. And then I don't know who came in and started just buying this up. Just some highly regarded person was just buying it up, or many regarded people.
Oh, FinTech Boy got in at 24.
All
yes.
right.
So this is what we need to do. We need to start a fund. And FinTech Boy and I are just going to be the analysts. And we're just going to give you ideas. And we're going to be like, pound the table on this idea. But don't fucking tell us what you do. Just
okay. So
and then you can have the timing. We'll give you the research, and it'll be all good.
Isn't there something said about intuition, or just like infinite luck? But the infinite luck will run out. But
no. Who was it? Alaka. Alaka said, he said, I don't know. Like if someone does something all the time and you don't understand it, but they're always right, maybe they just know something you don't, or like maybe they have something you don't.
And I'm not sharing it.
There's actually, I mean, like, did you play sports growing up much?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. Because I played soccer through college and everything.
I was soccer and track.
Yeah. And I was, and there's just like, sometimes you can't teach people like how to feel. Like there's a feeling in the game, a feeling, you get the ball of your feet. You don't need to know where the defender is or like how long you have to do something. It's just like you have that, it's a feel. Sometimes people have a feel and you can't teach it. My brother outperforms Fabio. He doesn't know shit about finance.
No, he does though. He does. He told me about his performance. His brother's performance is insane. It's like otherworldly. I want to say it's like, what was it? Was it like 1,000% in like the last 5 years? Something crazy.
Oh, so but what the?
It's something insane. Fabio has that feel from his left testicle, which is the new meme, by the way. That's like the new meme, I guess. It's just good. Yeah, he's just being a Tesla believer. Yeah, okay. So like, being long Tesla. Okay. Right before the insanity happened, before it went into super cult, because it was always a cult stock, but it went to super cult status. But
he also gets out at the right time. That's the important thing. There was a tweet by Paul Cerro, Cedar Grove Research. I don't know if it's pronounced I don't know if he's Hispanic or white, if it's Cerro or Sarro, but either way, he said, how was it? He was talking to someone and he summarized how a lot of retail investors invest perfectly, because someone said, I'm up X amount on this stock. I still believe in it and still think it's good for the long term. And he said, you just don't know how to value stocks. So when one goes up, you just hold it because it's gone up for you. So good, in my opinion. Like, it's very true. And I'm not trying to take a shot at anyone in particular, but that feels like yeah, so there's that too. So his brother might not necessarily have like a finance understanding, but he might also be able to tell like, yeah, this thing's kind of nuts, and just get out.
Pun intended.
Yes.
So
what
for tomorrow, right? The short's probably gonna still die.
I mean, I think so, but like, dude, it's a 1 day. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
One of them released an announcement after hours that popped it, but then it just came right back down, which is
exactly. Did you see that? There is no appetite.
Pretty bearish if that happens.
Yeah, yeah. They're exhausted. The buyers are exhausted. They've given up for the most part, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because like one of the ones that you said is a 0. That one, the retail investors are definitely exhausted. If you do some sentiment analysis on like all of the social media sites.
No, that's what I was telling you. I said even retail knows it's bad.
Yeah. So
even retail knows it's like a fraud shitco.
Yeah.
Did you see the chart on it?
Yeah, it's just straight down. It's going to 0.
It's like the most sad. That was when I was first looking at this group of stocks, the one that I was like most wanting to go heavy short in, but you couldn't at the time. In my opinion, the question is if you press the quantum short or not. I have no problem pressing Qubit at all. This thing's got no life left in it, I don't think. But I'm very heavily allocated onto these. I think you could also look at some other shorts that we've talked about in CM. You could look at the other ones that we've talked about that might be attractive here. But I didn't really press them much today. I was just letting my current positioning play out. So
yeah, I have the
I pressed my short on MicroStrategy, but
I just pressed in the morning, but that's about it.
Yeah.
We had like a small revival somewhere in the middle on 2 of them. Oh, of course, Open Door. They reported today. Terrible.
Dude, I have told you I'm not still in that one. I got out temporarily. Probably get back in. The short on it worked amazingly. That one and another company like it, but the business model just doesn't work. So
yeah.
Did you read through the report?
No, but I saw their highlights on the report.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's inventory buildup. Always good to see. The inventory quality, as we mentioned. Lots of cash sitting on the sidelines to invest still when the market tanks. Buy on this dip on panic selling. Haven't seen panic selling yet.
I don't think you've seen much selling at all in quality.
Yeah. Broadly speaking, you haven't seen any panic. This is just only in the retail shitcos. That's it.
See, I like to be more generous with the name. I call it high beta retail factor stocks.
Nicer way of saying it. High beta retail factor stocks.
Because maybe some of them aren't shitcos.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. Shitco's too strong of a word. You lose some people when you say it.
Yeah, because like when I think of a shitco, I think like Cons was a shitco.
Yeah.
B. Riley is a shitco. Yeah, most of the.
Let me reiterate the point I made earlier, Caleb, because I don't think you were here, and Andrew was changing a shirt, I believe, or doing something. What I think is happening, and what I was saying, in the weekly call, is the setup as far as margin goes. The margin is a lot of that's retail. That's retail. In retail's accounts. That margin level. So when they get wiped, what do you think is going to happen? They're all in the same stocks together. So in theory, if that's the case, you should see a really stark correlation between all of the, let's call it, retail stocks. And so I'll actually showcase an example. Might have to use a different source here. Some of the most popular ones. Let me show on a year-to-date basis. Actually, it doesn't do it justice because they all fell about the same, but they didn't rise year-to-date the same. It'll take me too long to actually set this up, but to avoid an awkward silence, we'll just say they more or less had a pretty high correlation in the past couple months, to the point where some of them fell about the same percent. It's insane.
Yeah. But that's a, I mean, and I just want to be clear, I am net long, very much so.
Yeah.
But the things that I'm long are more defensive companies for the most part. So there's that. We can talk about one other thing if you want to talk about it. I'm not going to go into super detail on it, but there's a short report that came out that I thought was interesting.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that one. I know
AppLovin?
Yep, AppLovin.
Yeah. So this is also a retail stock that a lot of people love. A short report came out. Fuzzy Panda, who did a really good short report on ASPI, by the way. And I spoke to people who work in mobile apps. And the feedback I got is that the short report's 100% accurate. So a lot of people are saying, oh, it's all lies. But, and people are focusing on the wrong things, actually. I think the whole thing about like showing inappropriate material to minors was like, who cares? I mean, like, I don't want to say who cares, but for the short thesis, it doesn't matter. You're going to have that in any kind of like situation. The big parts that were important is the inline attribution and the MMP issues. So like one of the things, okay, the last company that did, one of the things they came out and said, so basically they said, AppLovin's growing at a crazy clip. It's insane. And the reason for this is they're doing a lot of unethical things. And they listed some of the things, like I said, some don't matter. And I think it's maybe they're throwing things up so that like someone probes them. But it was like showing inappropriate stuff to minors. And then they said, one of the things is like showing you an ad and not letting you click out of it. And then another one that was really big to me was showing you an ad for an app and then downloading that app without you actually downloading it from the store.
Yeah.
And then they talked about them. They call it round tripping, which is kind of what you call it, but I'll explain that later.
Oh, wait, are you seeing the chat? Hugo, we got to talk in the club.
Yeah, Hugo, I know what department they're firing. They wiped the whole department. Like people on FinTwit are being like, this report's BS. No. This report is pretty dang accurate. So let me explain. Pull up APPS stock.
Yeah, App Digital Turbine, the another shitco that was pumped by retail.
So go on a 5-year timeline.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I know about this company.
So right there, like right the peak before the fall.
Yeah, right here.
They had this problem because okay, so let me explain. So if you own a mobile app,
yep,
and you partner with these guys, all they tell you, like, you don't go super in detail necessarily, but they're going to say, yeah, we run ads for you, we help you get people, we have a really high CTR. Like, they go through all these things. They're not going to give you every single detail. Well, the people I know said they started getting like 1-star feedbacks on their apps, and start getting things like, they downloaded this without my consent. These people are scam. This is a scam. I didn't ask for this. Like, why is this on my phone? No one running a mobile game wants that. It's a really good selling point if they don't realize you're doing that, because you're going to give them high like success rates on people downloading the app, which gives you, as AppLovin or Digital Turbine, more downloads. Now, the really, really bad thing is they call it round tripping. I wouldn't call it that. It's more like, I call it, it's stealing. I don't know how to call it. So I'll explain it. So let's say, so how these guys work, right, is they're trying to find you people to get on your app and download it, and you pay them. Usually there's like an upfront fee, and then you pay them too based on click-through rates, which is CTR. You're going to have different measurement, data that you pay them based on. But obviously, you get more people to download, that's going to give them more money. So what they were doing, okay, let's say I'm Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans works with AppLovin. Now, Andrew, I know of Clash of Clans. I've heard about it. I don't currently have it. Or if I'm Pokemon Go, same thing. I could just go to my app store, because I have an Android, so Google App Store. I could just go there, search Clash of Clans, and download it, right? That has there's no CAC there. There's no, customer acquisition cost in terms of the marketing spend. But if AppLovin's app gets me to go download it, I'm on Reddit, and a Clash of Clans ad comes up, and I click on the Clash of Clans ad, and then I download it. Well, now you're going to pay AppLovin because they got you that customer. So what has been accused, and what I've heard makes a lot of sense from the people, like I showed the short, in the way this worked was I showed the short report to the people that work in industry, and they go, oh my gosh, this like connects all the dots, because so much shit was coming out of AppLovin that didn't make sense. And so anyways, so what they could do is, what they're being accused of doing is, I go and search on the Google Play Store for Clash of Clans. I download Clash of Clans. AppLovin sees me do that. They run them through their service and say, Andrew found Clash of Clans through our app, or through not our app, I'm sorry, through our service. And then you as the customer pay them. Now here's the thing, because people ask me this, well, how does Apple and Google let this happen? They're not going to let them steal from them. Google and Apple aren't the customer that's paying them. It's the people with the apps. And I've heard that Apple is saying that they're losing their ability to like see customers and see data that goes through the AppLovin system. So I've been an investor in ad tech for a long time, as you know. And, obviously I told people AppLovin's sketchy, stay away from them. Which from a price return perspective hasn't been great until you go like year to date. But if the report's true, because the people I talked to, Hugo, there's a whole thing with Meta too. Let's just say AppLovin, this is how I explained it. I was talking to one of the people, and I said, yeah, because I told them one of the things that didn't make sense to me about AppLovin was their margins. Their margins make no sense. And he said, yeah, well, it's really easy to have good margins if you're stealing from everyone.
Yeah, margins, man. You just pump those numbers up. Just steal.
Yeah,
we're not going to meet our numbers this quarter. What can we do? Just steal.
Yeah. So,
and to be clear, the reason that they're firing a department is because to stop whistleblowers, to keep everyone in line
at AppLovin?
Yeah.
Don't know for certain. My assumption, from what I've heard, that's the department where, so they could be trying to create fall guys and saying, these were bad actors, we fired them all. They could be saying, no, these actors were speaking up. We fired them all, bring in a clean slate. I don't know. Or they could have just decided, we just want to fire everyone, bring up margins even more. I don't know for sure. To be very clear, and I know 0 people at AppLovin. Everything, even me talking to the people I talked to, it was just kind of speculation. So.
Yeah. So people are saying, or Michael here is saying QQQ is up 20 right now. Came back, but when markets open green and stay green and other markets are down big.
I mean, the Bitcoin's at 80K. It's, flirting with 79.
Look, it makes sense to have a bounce back. That's why for shorts here, I think what we're doing is very prudent. We're focusing on the canaries in the coal mine who just pass out. They're gone. And they go first. Something like AppLovin, I hope we get a good opportunity. Maybe this is the opportunity. Who knows? But we'll see. But, as far as like longs, if you're talking about shorting something like Meta, yeah, you see, like that's stepping out of the bounds.
In general, I don't really like shorting really, really good, high quality companies.
Sorry, I didn't see your super chat, Millennial Investor. Thank you for letting us know. Any opinion of the new weak fund 0 to 3 month Treasury T-bill via Roundhill? Okay, I got to look into this. Actually, we can look into it now to honor your super chat. But
it's only like 30 cents though.
What do you mean?
It's only like a 30-cent super
chat.
Oh,
because he's Canadian. Oh. All right, let's take a look at this company. Not company, but stock. All right, so Roundhill 3-month Treasury. Okay, so it's not out yet, but the prospectus is here. So I can read through this real quick. I'm going to skim through it just to catch it. Okay. Oh, right there. I mean, management fees is 0.19%. So I think it removes almost any benefit of the weekly compound versus the monthly compound. Because the fee is like over twice what Vanguard and BlackRock give you. So that's a problem. I hope they're okay. They better not be doing anything extra. I'm scrolling through some information. Okay, so investment objective.
Millennial Investor, Canada's a really cool country, to be very clear. You guys have poutine too, which is like puts you above the US in some respects. Come on, show some Canadian pride.
Yeah, so the fee is going to be 0.19%, which is again over double. And under normal conditions, the fund will invest at least 80% of its net assets plus any borrowings for investment purposes in T-bills. Okay. Doesn't seem anything else out of the ordinary besides that. Okay, so looking through this. What happened?
Why is Sailor the stupidest account on Twitter?
Please share.
Sell a kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. Have you ever seen his page? His page is like insane. I just see Kino. He's got some real stuff in here, but I just always see. Oh yeah, he's got like these weird. Oh, they actually have 500,000 Bitcoin. Oh, so they actually have like 40 billion worth of Bitcoin then. Okay. Yeah, considering a second job to acquire more Bitcoin. He's just like Bitcoin for sale. We have a strategy to acquire Bitcoin.
All right, and so let's see this follow-ups. Doesn't sound like they're compared to their 0DTE, XDTE, QDTE, RDTE, etc. They haven't done much. This is their safest they have ever done. I'm confused, like why? Fair, I couldn't. I should, but currently can't really buy a house. Oh, that's regardless to Canada. So yeah, I probably would just stick to VBill or SGov, lower fees, which outweigh the benefit of the weekly compound, because technically speaking, all else being equal, the weekly compound of the interest would be better. But it's very marginal. Like it's really small, and it's outweighed by that, because you know, if you increase, you know, the frequency, then technically you boost the compounding just a tad bit. But if you double the fee at where rates are now, if rates were way higher, yeah, you could probably, you know, squeeze that benefit out, but rates are not that high. So I'd stick to the other two personally. Lower fees. Just go with VBill. It's the lowest fee in the market right now. I think it's like 0.06%, because SGov had a promotional rate that's going away. So VBill Vanguard's is, yeah, I think it was like 0.06%.
Yeah. Out for fun saying, I feel like a good pair trade short MicroStrategy, long coin. I think you're better off just going long Bitcoin, short MicroStrategy, but like that one could work too. The only thing that's scary is like if you're on the wrong side when MicroStrategy goes on its parabolic runs, like you can get crushed.
Short Bitcoin, long MicroStrategy.
Yeah, but when MicroStrategy goes to zero, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, Bitcoin will never go to zero. Maybe not.
Not before MicroStrategy.
Yeah, MicroStrategy got wiped before. My kidney for a Bitcoin.
What was I gonna ask or say? I had something.
No worries,
Oh.
Millennial Investor.
Okay. Do you want to talk about our good friend Kemmer?
Yes. Okay, this is the break time. This is your financial fast food. Our specimen, our observation on the markets. Fiscal is excited. Look at him. He's like, here we go.
These guys are all here like, yeah, guys, you can talk about like random shorts and random situations. And by the way, before we move to that, we are net long. We're just long. Basically, the theory was go long defensive stocks. And the thing about defensive stocks is they're generally kind of boring. So not much to talk about. Sorry.
Yeah. Sleep well at night.
Yeah. Better than these people in MicroStrategy.
MicroStrategy was going to go to several $1 trillion. That's why that guy put all of his family money into
Oh, Gladiator, that guy.
Yeah, how's Gladiator doing? Because he bought the leveraged one.
Yeah, MSTX. What's MSTX at? 20.
Do we even have to ask?
It peaked at 1.7. It's down 87%. Okay.
When did he buy?
I don't know.
I can find out.
I like followed him because I thought he was kind of funny at first, and then his account was so unbearable. Actually, I stopped.
What's his account name? Because Grok is great at searching these things.
This is a market maker shakeout. We will be at all-time highs in no time. Calm down, everyone. The super cycle hasn't even started yet.
Where's my Grok? Oh, they just changed the symbol for Grok.
Do you want me to show you a video? I got a 2-minute video of him giving his thoughts 51 minutes ago.
Yes.
I still can't tell if he's a meme or not. Like, I can't tell if he's joking.
You hope he's joking. I mean, with that face, he has to be joking.
What's up, guys? This is your boy Gladiator, and I want to do a quick video to say this is likely the bottom. I did a post a couple days ago. I said before every bottom of Bitcoin, there's normally one crazy capitulation selling day overnight where market makers slam Bitcoin overnight to shake out all the leverage. And then normally by the end of that day, the market recovers into massive volume spike, and it's a huge hammer wick. And that normally is the bottom for both Bitcoin and strategy. And we're at in my mind, the market's starting to capitulate. We're reaching oversold levels. And tonight we got that basically get crazy capitulation overnight. And the bear euphoria is crazy. And it's all funny. And so tomorrow, in my opinion, the morning is an opportunity. if you want to add a little bit, I'm not going to give anyone advice, but for me personally, I view the morning, if MSTR gaps down, that could be an opportunity, I think. Because I think this is very likely to be the bottom, and I think Bitcoin by year end is going to be somewhere between 200 and 400K. And I think strategy MSTR is going to be like four to 6 times higher than its current price. It's, what is it, low 200s? It's going to be over $1,000 per share. It's currently about $60 billion market cap. It's going to be like at least $300 billion market cap by year end. So tomorrow and tonight is highly likely the bottom in Bitcoin and MSTR strategy. Throughout the history of Bitcoin,
yeah, so I still don't know if he's like a troll account, like a meme account. He doesn't even say things that are like intelligent. So, but like his entire account, like that's one hell of a. It's one hell of a like troll. Like that's quite a commitment to it. But anyways, we'll see how. Wait, is Japan hitting circuit breakers right now?
Oh.
Or is that just?
Is it?
Nah, the Nikkei's down 3%, which is a lot. But
okay, so December 22nd, 2024 is when Grok says Gladiator it was heavy into MicroStrategy. And then let me ask it a follow-up question. This is insane.
What?
No, just like insanity. There's a person out here who just aped into MicroStrategy, and not just MicroStrategy, MST. Oh, of course, guys. You know what I said about all of them owning the same things? What else do you think he's bullish?
SoFi?
No, close. Good guess.
Hims?
That's very good. Yep, Hims. So
I
like,
don't know. He didn't post about anything other than Bitcoin and MicroStrategy.
Here, I just saw it. Because I was zooming past it, trying to get to. Yep, here. Oh, sorry. No, he was actually shitting on it.
Oh, okay.
But his comment's actually funny. He says, the fact that Hims is one of the strongest stocks tells you a lot you need to know about our current society, filled with men suffering chronically low levels of testosterone. This is what happens when you get a society filled with vegans, liberals, soy boys, triple vaxxed. It all makes sense now.
Okay.
Okay, he has to be a troll account. He's not real.
I think he's got to be, because like.
Yeah. No. He's trolling epically, and man, he's good.
But like he went to like a live meetup with Michael Saylor and got a picture with Michael Saylor. Like, dude, that is dedication. That is dedication to the bit. That's why it's like, because I was always like, he's a troll, and then I saw him get a picture with Michael Saylor, and I was like, maybe.
No. He's playing a character. That has to be it. That is amazing. So, yeah. All right. So as we were saying before, what was the update with Cameron?
So we can talk about it. That first in his Discord yesterday, he was like yelling at people, and I think he's okay. So he was yelling at people, very upset, very emotional. So if we remember, Kemmer was 100. He had an 86. Well, he had a $100,000 account, more or less, like más o menos, and he had 120,000 a margin at least. He is now at a 57.
Got to check this out.
Okay, there you go. You got it.
Oh.
And my favorite thing was in one of his streams recently, he's like, yeah, well, it's down, but it's not a loss unless you sell. And he's like, but I did have to sell, so I lost some. But this is actually why you don't use it, because he's actually right. Because like you can have situations where the stocks sell off and it's really out of your control, and maybe who knows what happens. If you're in margin, you're a forced seller into this.
Look at this. He's getting margin called again.
Yeah.
He's got a deficit again.
MicroStrategy's down overnight, 6%.
I bet he wished he was back at Schwab now.
So it's just, it's tough. Like, what do you?
Samago returns. Shows up at the right time. He's like, a wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Here for the camera update. So First of all, I love it. Oh, he changed the name when he went live was My Mistakes. What does he mean 13K portfolio? Oh, it's
13K. No. 13K a month is how much he thinks he's making.
But he was 30K.
Oh my god.
Right? Because he had like Kemmer 30K club.
Wait, what does he say right here? He just mouse staring.
Wait.
He's just looking. He's just like, oh, we were
so close to greatness.
Oh, he's not showing his other account today, sadly.
But some people in here actually are starting to blame him, which is fair, and they're like, "Yeah, you need to take some responsibility because you're doing all this margin, and other people are doing margin because of you." And he was just kind of sitting there taking it, which is a little surprising to me. It seems like maybe the community's turning on him a little bit, but like they're starting to just a little bit. But I do like, and we used this example the other day, was he keeps on saying he's like, oh yeah, well there's like a burning house, and like we run into the burning house, And we said, well, the thing is the house is burning because you put it on fire and no one else is inside, but you're running it anyways. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he has, remember, the ability to understand. But wow. It's a shame he doesn't show his other account, because his other account is, you know how heavy his other account is in MicroStrategy?
no idea.
More than this one. The other one is an all-inner.
Really?
Oh yeah. I can find it. Give me 2 seconds.
BTC is breaking down somewhere.
If BTC keeps breaking down, dude, this guy's gonzo. He's never gonna recover. I mean, he was already never gonna recover because he doesn't. First of all, he apparently is not capable of understanding of how much of a toll he's dug himself into, and then he doesn't make the income to replace the amount that he's lost already. I'm trying to find his joint account. Dang it!
Apparently, Matt left the server for a little bit, then he came back. I don't know.
Dude, Matt's my favorite, like, poor rich guy. Oh, he just doesn't show the 100% Misty account for like past 2 days.
Solana's down over almost 40%.
That he just does not want to show this account anymore.
Which one?
Oh, here it is. Okay, actually, oh gosh, it's pretty stupid too.
I can't see your.
Yeah, I was finding it. So this is the other one.
But this was on the 25th. So it's down 10% more. No, because this is probably all margined out. So he's probably down another 15%.
So looking here, he has NVDA, which was down 7% today. What is MRNY? What is that? mRNA option income? What on God's green earth is this?
What? What, Murny?
mRNA.
Yeah, it's Moderna. Yield max.
Is Moderna doing that poorly? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, Moderna's done really bad. There's a lot of speculation around, like, because they had the mRNA vaccine, and I don't know. I think I've heard like the market's really punishing. Just pull up mRNA and see what they're at.
I did not know mRNA was getting that crushed. To be fair, I don't pay attention to Moderna. Yeah, holy crap. What? That's so random of him. What is he doing?
He's looking for income.
That's
he likes. So, but remember, he tries to get paid out weekly.
This is such a random position for him to throw in there.
Yeah.
I don't even understand why he has even these one shares. Like, they make no sense. Okay, so the Misty, Colony, Alti, a freak of nature, Alti is, NVDA, and Tesla. So yeah, he got wrecked today on this. He got wrecked today on this one. I didn't pay attention because I was just shocked when he got wrecked today on mRNA. Oh no, today this account is ultra wrecked. Well, actually, this account was ultra wrecked too. An 11% down day is not normal.
Oh, what do you mean not normal? Like you shouldn't.
No, yeah, you shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, I'm having several 11% down days.
But you got to remember, he's also margined out like max. And so if your stock's down 5%, it's actually down 10% now on your account.
By the way, we're doing this sections because I also feel like it's good, because if you guys out there listening and you're like, man, I feel bad about my account today. Today was a bad day for my account. Well, I show you this, so you're like, hey, at least you're not this guy.
Yeah. And I did see someone say we're lumping all retail stocks together. I did say, high beta retail factor because they're not all shitcos. But they do have a similar factor because you have a similar set of investors for a lot of them. But
that person hasn't seen this yet because he's watching backwards. That's why I didn't address his comments, because by the time he gets to this part, we'll be long gone. But because he said, oh no, he said skipping ahead. Sorry, didn't read the comment. He said skipping ahead, so he's probably here. So it makes sense to respond to him.
I would argue that probably is the majority, though.
Yeah,
I would argue that people who are valuation insensitive, who are picking stocks because they go up, who are picking similar sets of stocks, who are finding them in the same manner and exposed to the same kind of thing, that is the majority of retail, my opinion.
Yep.
I'm not saying that, and I don't think Palantir isn't a shitco. It's just, in my opinion, very overvalued.
Yeah.
So,
how's Coney doing today? Is it also
Coney and Tesla? It wasn't down that
much,
but Tesla was.
Coney held up. Coney's strong today. Let me put his whole portfolio, I guess, here so we can see how sort of it did today. And then I'm missing a few more. Ulti, NVDA. Jeez, Ulti is an abomination.
Do you know what Ulti is?
It's the combination of a bunch of them.
They find the highest IV stocks.
Is it real? Yes, this is real.
Oh,
this is a real person.
And I am saying this. I will reiterate this every time we talk about it and make fun of it, because people are going to say, wow, these guys are complete assholes. No, let me explain. Fabio was like the kindest person in the world. Like, he went in there into these channels and it was like painful listening to him try to explain this to me. Like, no, like, and he went through examples and said, this is why you shouldn't do this, and here's the risk, and you shouldn't. And what they did was they just said, you're banned. And he never once said it. The reason they banned him was because he was making too much sense. Like, literally, I think they were starting to say, like, we're losing the argument, ban this guy. I can't remember, like, what was the final thing, but they basically banned him because, like, I think they couldn't figure out a way to. And, like, he wasn't doing it in a mean way. He was being, like, overly generously nice. And they just banned him because they didn't want to, like, have to talk reason anymore. And he wasn't the only one. And, like, they would even ban people who come in and ask, like, hey, why do you do this? And they're like, what a stupid question, ban. Like, so, I mean, they're asshats, like, no doubt. So
this was all, they asked for this. All right, so let's go back to our regular programming because we got a great question here. Google. Google for me soon.
I think some people in CM make some pretty interesting bear arguments. Yeah. I sold out of Google a while ago.
Yes.
There's two questions with Google, and this would say if it's a screaming buy right now, or don't touch it right now. The two questions are: do you think their margin profile has changed? Meaning, they're spending all this money to build AI data centers. Do you think that their go forward 2027, 2028 margin profile has changed? There's actually three questions now because of some news that came out of Google today. Question two.
Wait, what's the news that came out today?
They're laying off people in GCP.
I don't know how. I have to digest that and dive into that a little bit more. What do you mean?
I'll pull up the...
In GCP?
Mm-hmm. I don't know how much. Let me see if I can find it. Google Cloud Division cuts significant number of jobs. Macro Edge. Google announces layoffs in its HR cloud units as part of ongoing cost cuts.
In its HR cloud units. They're the ones who are gonna they're the ones firing people. I know it's not the HR people, but like they're the memes of the HR people who make you cringe. They're just calling up people on Google and saying, You're fired.
Raggedy Pig saying it's 200 people. The only thing that I'm worried about with that is like, this should be your growth engine. And I'm assuming layoffs, it's just because of cost cutting, not performance related. Now, maybe it is performance related. I don't know. But if it's not performance related and it's because like this thing should be hiring people, it should be not the segment that's laying off people for cost cutting, in my opinion. Now, it could be AI, and Google has a ton of AI, is actually producing efficiencies, which then could be a very bullish thing for Google.
Yeah, it's just like really hard to tell right now. We don't have enough information.
Right. But that's the question is like, okay, so question 1 was, has the margin profile changed? Question 2, do you think that search is, I don't think the question would be, do you think that search is going to like go away? But do you think that its forward growth is significantly impacted by LLMs? And then number 3 is, what do you make of cuts? Is this just no big deal? But if the answer to the margin question is, don't think the profile's changed, this is growth CapEx moving forward, I think that it'll create efficiencies and they'll be okay. And then number 2, if you think that search maybe it gets slightly impacted, but it's not going to be a big deal, there probably is screaming buy here from large mega cap.
And Sauron brings up a very valid point. Have you seen that figure?
Yeah, but why maybe the cloud division has some bloat too, but they only laid off HR and cloud. I'm just saying, like, that's a weird thing. You think if they're hitting cloud, they'd also hit YouTube, they'd hit search, they'd hit everything.
My pushback to that is like, geez, that would be insane if Google Cloud went from growing last quarter as much as it is to just suddenly being dead.
Oh, it wouldn't be dead. It would just be the growth rates have cut back significantly. So the people that you hired because you thought it would grow at a certain clip.
Well, hopefully it's performance reasons.
It could be. I mean, it definitely could be.
Google could definitely go through a purge, and they should go through a purge. They're basically a daycare. So I didn't even notice Amazon pulled back that much.
What's Amazon at?
208.
Ooh. We're back to where Daddy Bezos was selling.
Yep, 208. It tested greatness at 242. I have the CCs for 360.
Nice.
Ain't getting there. It ain't getting there now.
Yeah.
At least not in the time frame. But yeah.
Holy shit, you all are going hard. Yeah, we like to talk about this stuff. I think Amazon's starting to get really interesting then. I don't think I'd want to add here. Get it back below. I would. These guys are going to grow EPS fast. They're turning their levers on. I think Amazon.
I've sold puts already.
So are these puts? Okay, let me think. 180.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really the price?
Yep.
Oh, I could guess.
That's the one I keep selling similar ones for TSM and Amazon each chance I get, and I get real money for it. And I'm like, I'll buy it at that price.
Yeah, that valuation makes a lot of sense to me. Let's see. I mean, I can see these guys growing EPS at in excess of like 20% for a while.
Mm-hmm. You know, who I'm talking about now, or who I'm talking to more and more, kind of picking his brain, we're going back and forth on Microsoft. So Microsoft is getting to that setup. No. We'll talk later on this. I'll convince you. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But
Microsoft's at 392 to be fair.
But wait, I mean, Okay, details later.
I'm just saying it hasn't gone anywhere in a year.
Yes. It hasn't gone anywhere in a year, but there are some very interesting developments going on inside of there. Apple, no interest. I have zero interest in Apple at this price. Makes no sense to me. NVIDIA, I feel like we'll have a couple quarters to see what's going on, because to your point, maybe you're right on your concerns earlier today when we talked. And
Wait.
It's going to be a trap.
Did someone convince you that I might be right my concerns earlier?
No, I'm open to you being right.
Okay.
Though.
Okay.
I'm open to you being right. I don't think you're right, but I'm open to you being right, because yes, it could be like the beginning of the slowdown. Who knows? Well, let's talk our opinions through, so we don't bury the lead here with the audience. So I guess you can state your opinion, I'll state my opinion, and then.
But I feel like some people addressed what my concerns were. So to be clear, I own NVIDIA. My concerns were gross margins and the decline there. I was a little concerned about the situation with the beat. So whenever I look at like a cyclical company, I start to worry a little bit when beats get smaller and smaller, because you go from large beat, big beat, medium-sized beat, little beat, meet, miss. And that was part of my concern, was them just meeting that. And then the margins. And the margins to me were signaling that they are losing potentially relative pricing power with TSM. The pushback I got was Blackwell ramp, right? So you're rolling out another product, efficiencies haven't come online yet. That makes sense for gross margin. And if you just think they hit analyst estimates, they're still pretty attractively priced here. Like I didn't add any today. I'm not adding yet. I think here it's a good price to add at, but I'm not adding yet. But that was kind of my, and then the other thing I was a little concerned about was day sales outstanding kind of rapidly moving up. You went from, which to me signals one of two things. It signals who's the customer buying. Larger customers, or how in demand, how quickly do people need it? Like if people are knocking down your door, hey, we need these things, we need these things, we need these things. The second you can get them and ship them out, you're going to. So why is your day sales outstanding and expanding? Was a question I also had. So those were kind of my questions. But I feel like we addressed them mostly, but those were kind of the concerns.
I'll represent the other side here. So just to clarity, we already had this conversation, so we're just repeating it. So then on the other side, I'll start with the day sales outstanding issue and the margin issue. Mm-hmm. Those could be, in theory, explained by the new product launch and the ramp up. It's hard to tell right now. Then on the other note of the growth, right, and beating expectations by wide margin, little low, and eventually no. On the defense of that, I view that, the analysts are not complete morons. And I feel like at this point, they have a much better grasp of penciling out what, and it still was a beat, just to be clear, it was a beat, but it's not going to escape them like it did last year, where there was still plenty of doubt about where the CapEx was going, right? Everyone's saying AI is a waste, blah, blah. A lot of those narratives were still there. A lot of people not knowing at all, like what that investment's going to look like. But really, tied to NVIDIA's earnings is going to be that CapEx. And so I feel like the sell side analysts have, for the most part, really pieced it together now on what they could look at to make somewhat accurate predictions, or very accurate predictions, on what NVIDIA's earnings are going to end up being. And to be clear, it was still up 77%, which I think it's like, okay, they could have beat if the analysts just estimated 40% CAGR or 40% growth this year, 50% growth this year. But if we look at the capex growth for some of these guys was a lot more than that. And so if you're an analyst and you're trying to take yourself seriously, I feel like you had to have, a growth estimate for NVIDIA, knowing that they're going to be a direct beneficiary of that capex growth, something that represents or is, similar and reflects that capex growth. Of course, not 100% of that capex is going to NVIDIA, right? Because it goes into a bunch of other things, and there's a lot of other beneficiaries of that capex, but at least a huge chunk of it is. And on a go forward basis, we talked about this several live streams ago. You have the discussion with Satya, and where he says, he said this in the meeting after the earnings with the analysts. What we're going to be focusing on is less long-lived assets and more on short-lived assets, which that should say less buildings, more silicon, more, connectivity. That is NVIDIA. So even though the capex may not grow as much next year as it did this year, that implies that more of the capex spend is going to be shifting towards NVIDIA, which could give you that outsized growth still. Right. So that's the other side. I say, really, wow, you're going to have to find out in the next couple quarters. And so you have to kind of decide what you feel on that topic, and not to short it if you disagree or you think, this is the top for it, but avoid it is what you probably should do. And then if you think the other point of view is true, then it's probably an ad here. It's very likely an ad here. So.
Yeah, and that's why I said, like, my thing is trying to figure out, what do I sell? Do I buy? Do I hold? That's what I was trying to go through today. If this Bitcoin price action holds, it's probably going to look cheaper tomorrow. So,
what's the price now?
79.5.
Oh man, what's on the 24-hour market? Let's take a peek real quick at some of our favorite regarded stocks. So Robinhood, it has Alphabet down 0.05% overnight, but I don't care about Alphabet. I care about MicroStrategy.
Are you pulling up now?
6.47. Oh, no. It's the gulp. It's the
Guh. You know Guh from Wall Street Bets?
Yeah.
Guh. Wait, I got INQ's down 1.2% overnight too.
Oh man, the shorts are. But we had a question from someone saying, like, "Hey, what about these companies? Instead of shorts, blah blah blah." The shorts are supplemental, by the way. Like Andrew said, we are majority long. You just have, it's part of like a long short portfolio. You have some hedges. I'll say this: Andrew is been way further along in this than me. I was trying to almost like time the entry on the shorts. And
you did pretty well though, to be fair.
No, but you got the top on
Quantum.
On Quantum. Oh my goodness, you got the top on Quantum.
Yeah. I remember I just was looking at the valuations, and at the time Rigetti was like almost 6 billion. It was like,
oh my gosh.
This is insane. They do 8 million in revenue.
Yep.
And it's not even high gross margin revenue, because a lot of these contracts, what I found out, and IonQ said this in their earnings call, a lot of the contracts they take are zero revenue, or I'm sorry, they're zero margin revenue.
Coinbase. Kemmer escaped today, but he's not escaping tomorrow.
Yeah, Coinbase. Well, that's how MicroStrategy was yesterday. It was like up a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, 4%.
Man.
I don't wait. Would you say Kemmer? I wouldn't call today escaping for Kemmer.
No, only in coin. Coin was like a light spot for him, a bright beacon in the shadows of his portfolio.
Is in darkness again tomorrow, I guess.
Yes,
yeah. IonQ, That was funny because IonQ was like, eventually our gross margins will go up, and someone was like, "Do you want to give guidance on that?" And they were kind of like, "Nah."
The Coinbase red is expanding. It's going down more. What else? What else? Palantir. Let's look at Palantir. Let's more retail stocks. Okay, Palantir's is showing some strength. It's down 1.26%. It's showing some relative strength. How is Hood doing?
What's NVDA doing?
Down 1.7. NVIDIA up 0.21. So
Hold the line.
flat.
1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1.
Hold the line. Oh yeah, HIMS. This one, the down 2.78%. App Lovin down 1.86%. Well, given what we know now, I hope that rallies soon. Oh, you remember NNE? I received a comment saying the day after, because we were thinking like, oh, we hope it goes up. It went up the day after our last stream, and then it basically came back down today. But it's still, I think, higher from the stream where we said this is an interesting short, where you were talking about it.
Yeah, it was only down 7% today. I would love to. This thing is
Scam co. Yeah.
Yeah. It is a
Check SoFi. SoFi negative 0.14. And you know what? It's a good as time as any on the public sphere to say this, but a member of the community, I like to think I have an open mind, right? And so this will hopefully show it. I change my mind when the facts change. If alternative facts are presented to me, I can change my mind. Now, the price, because we're here to make money, we're not here to be right. The price of SoFi may not be as attractive, but there's a member within the community who is, I would argue, a specialist in fintech. And
there's no argument.
Yeah, actually, there's no argument. They are specialists in fintech. They convinced me otherwise to redact my, let's call it ultra bearish stance on SoFi. I no longer have that opinion. That opinion is squashed. The price, I probably wouldn't consider to buy, and in discussion with them, that's looks like the, I guess, a fair opinion to hold at the moment. But if it were to crash during a retail, kaboom, the stuff that they're doing makes sense from a product standpoint and where they might end up being in the future. So I will not go on a go forward basis dismiss SoFi entirely. So I've changed my mind on that. And that's, a showcase of my mind changes when the facts change. If presented with alternate facts. So I'm not hard-headed with an opinion or anything like that. But let's look at now Tesla. So I wanted to just make sure I said that publicly. So now you have it on a public platform. That is my current stance.
Chegg doing? Let's see. Chegg.
Oh, I saw Elemental asked about Chegg. If we could probably share our opinion on Chegg.
I'm talking about Constellation Energy. You're talking about CHGG?
Oh, yeah. I think he was talking about Chegg.
Oh, yeah. That Chegg? It's a 0.
Yeah. I don't know why. Look, the guy's smart, really smart, but did you see that balance sheet that there was no buybacks ever coming?
Oh, well, speaking of which, that reminds me of a stock I want to look at how they did today.
They had their only hope is paying down debt and refinancing debt.
You know who was up 35% today?
Who?
Red Robin.
Red Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Red Robin. Oh, they were about to go bankrupt.
Red Robin reports revenue drop in Q4, up 35%. What happened? Well, it's a 95 million market cap.
Oh, yeah. This could be just noise. It's probably still going bankrupt.
Could be a good entry then. I liked Red Robin. I don't have them where I live now, but when I had them, I heard this before. But I heard they're not as good anymore. This was 5 years ago.
Dan refers to them as having I can't say that here. That's like a little too much.
What?
Well, if I say it now, then it's like what?
Oh, that thing. Yes.
Yeah. That'll be like a little bit,
Oh, same store sales increased 3.4. So they must be.
Maybe people like that
Restructuring.
sandwich that Dan hates.
Net loss of 39.7 million as compared to net loss of 13.7 million.
Loss is accelerating.
Net losses in the fourth quarter includes 32.4 million in impairment and net closure costs. So they're restructuring. So they might end up living. It's just like at 100 million market cap, it's not. Pull up a chart of FTDR.
We'll talk about ANET in a second. Don't worry. Front door. What the hell is this? Is this insurance?
Is that like a tech company? It sounds like a.
Let's take a look real quick.
It's like a security tech company.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just guessing.
No, it's warranties on homes. Customizable warranties for homeowners.
Customizable warranties? Oh, home repair and maintenance.
Yeah, but like I guess they appraise your home. They give you like a warranty plan on certain things in your house. I'm trying to think though, like who your customer is. Why are you convincing a bunch of people to get, warranties on what?
I think JC would like their investor relations and treasurer.
JC, why?
Let me share it right now. I think JC would like this guy. I think JC would like him. Bill looks like he just woke up from a nap.
Bill Cobb.
Okay, so 2020. Wait, this is from 25. Okay, 2022 challenging macro environment.
Man, I'm excited for tomorrow.
Wait, 70.5% is an all-time high in retention? Isn't that bad?
Well, to be honest, I don't know much about using these products. I don't buy these. It seems like it's like what, extended warranties?
Yeah.
On your house.
So they're going into non-warranty revenue.
They're doing share buybacks already.
Let's see. I probably shouldn't show that. Actually, I think no, I'll just not. Let me see what they're. Is she gonna wake up?
What is ANET at while you're looking at that? I'm curious. I haven't looked at their share price. 91. Woohoo!
Arista.
Look at this.
I think you hold off until 80. You can share your screen if you're trying to.
Oh, wait, is it not showing this? Oh, never mind. I have to do this. Wow, look at that drop. This drop was hilarious. Remember this one right here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Why are you excited? Because the shorts are going to do well, and I think the longs are still going to do well.
So they're doing a buyback at a 14x forward PE, which is not bad.
Could be better.
Growing, analyst estimates have top line growing at 10%.
Wait, is it a forward for the current price after the drop? Or forward price right before the drop?
GAAP EPS is estimated to be 278.
So 278. So
25. I think that's after the drop. $16.6. So because that's normalized EPS I was looking at. So yeah, 16 times forward earnings. Top line's growing 10%. You're having bottom line. For some reason, bottom line's lower this year than last year, and then it picks up again in 26.
This is an interesting company. I did not envision a company like this existed and doing.
I don't hate it though. I actually thought
No, I don't.
they're levered a little bit. Let me see. Actually, I don't think it's that much leverage. Hold on.
What's the
1.9 times LTM EBITDA. It's fine.
okay? So top line, I can imagine why they're struggling because again, I think this is a fairly niche product. I'm trying to figure out like who is using this mostly.
I don't know. I think like you'd have to do a lot more. Dude. The street believes in what we're doing, not after today. But I don't think it's. You know what you could see potentially? They just sold off on this. You could see continued weakness. What if this thing falls to 30? Then it gets interesting if there's no material degradation of the business.
But
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that previous point right there? Like, so it just went down to that. You see that little like line right there? Up, right back. Right. Nope. That little like right before it shoots up right there. 33. Yeah. So got down there. It could be interesting. Then you're talking like 10 times earnings. I'd have to understand the product a little more.
How's Lockheed doing?
Okay.
Yeah, this is the bottomed out right here. And then these got to, yeah, this one got there.
I tell you the defense contractor I like, right, is Kratos.
Kratos?
Yeah. There's a couple other ones I can tell you.
Oh, Leidos is still dead.
I like Kratos and then LNR. No. Hold on.
Trading at insane valuation, sudden hiccup, death. Also, a lot of their growth is supposed to be from data center build out. So I hear bad things. Everyone's been telling me bad things about AeroVironment's drones.
So
Starts with an S.
What?
None of these started with an S.
Or what? I was going to say Leonardo, but Leonardo's just been ripping, so maybe never mind. This thing's up 30% in the last month. So.
Yeah, but BAH is a contractor. It's a consultant firm. They probably are involved in some contracts that might get cut. So, Fuhat's lover of this company.
Yeah, front door, FTDR. Yeah, but anyways, I don't hate FTDR. When he was saying look at the chart, I was thinking that was a short setup.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, if it gets down to that level that you were saying, you know, it's a beauty contest. So what if a lot of other things are really attractive here?
Do not disagree one bit.
Yeah.
Oh, Bitcoin's going back up to 80K. It's at 80,100. It's fighting for its life.
It is. It's literally fighting for its life right now.
I don't know. It seems like the crypto people, because I feel like crypto does kind of trade on technicals. They're saying the technicals are broken until 74K Bitcoin. And then we'll see where it goes from there. It reminds us of the zero. Where are we on the Bitcoin rainbow? It's a good question. I think we're like undervalued in Bitcoin rainbow. Let me see.
Oh, breaking news.
What?
So Singapore, 2 Singapore and 1 national.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Were charged with fraud linked to movement of NVIDIA chips to DeepSeek from Singapore after authorities raided 22 locations the day before.
No way.
What happened?
SMCI was sending chips to China. The deliveries to China weren't. It's
SMCI. You're saying
SMCI is the ones who NVIDIA sells to in Singapore, who ships them to China.
If only we knew of a company that benefits from the downfall of SMCI.
Yes, indeed. Very much.
If only there was such a company.
Yeah, literally there's a video of a guy in China taking out the chips, and it has SMCI right on the box as he's taking it out. You haven't seen that?
No, I didn't see that.
No, I can't believe you didn't notice. Yeah, NVIDIA sells to Singapore to SMCI, and SMCI, I mean, like, they're like NVIDIA's little b-boy, you know. Like, give them a week, okay, go. You know, we're gonna close our eyes and not worry about where it's being sold to. SMCI takes it and delivers it. So that's why. What's SMCI doing right now?
You think that's why SMCI fell today that as much as it did?
Not necessarily. I think that could have been just macro impacted. Part of me thinks, wow, that was already priced in. Dude, I have posts on Twitter. I am not short it currently. This thing's a short, in my opinion. I mean, they got delisted once for fraud. There's fraud there. They got an adverse opinion on internal controls on their audited financials. I don't know. Feels very shorty to me. Have I looked at the state of cybersecurity stocks lately? Not really. I feel like they've been holding up okay relative to their beta. I also still don't understand why retail doesn't find cybersecurity stocks so cool. What's cyber doing? CYBR.
Yeah, CYBR.
Mm-hmm.
CyberArk. Pull back some. 15%.
These things could be interesting on this pullback, for sure. We get more because these things are beta. You get some more pullback in CrowdStrike or Palo Alto. What's Fortinet doing?
Fortinet's not moving.
I didn't think it would, but it's probably one holding up the best, I would think, because it's like the value play of this. Yeah.
Yep.
Even the last 1 month, they sold off a little bit, but not much. So I got CrowdStrike, CyberArk, Palo Alto, Fortinet. Who else?
SentinelOne.
I'm talking about real companies. Zscaler?
ZS.
ZS isn't doing great.
I think Cloudflare.
Oh yeah, Cloudflare is an interesting one. How much are they down? That's just a weird company. It's hard for me to have an opinion on them. I mean, these things being down 3% today with high beta like they have isn't bad at all, to be honest.
How's DG doing these days? DG.
CHKP.
Oh, that's Checkpoint.
That's what I thought. Checkpoint, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're the shittiest though.
But they're probably
look how they're performing. Yeah.
I was gonna say they're probably holding up fine though.
Yeah. They're the cheapest by far. They're buyback machine, but there's like no growth.
I think if you could get CrowdStrike back down to 300, that'd be really cool. I think I'd start looking at buying it again at 300.
CrowdStrike?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know you think like 300 from here sounds like a lot, but it was only 410 like a few days ago. you get a real sell-off in the SPY, this thing would hit 300, and then you start looking to Sale just IPO'd. I don't know if I know Sale.
There was a Palantir guy. I remember he said around here that like CrowdStrike is the most obvious short today. Where my mouse is.
Why?
Because that was the, you know, like the CrowdStrike fiasco. All the systems were
I
down.
thought that there was some concern with CrowdStrike, and as a long, I sold around. I didn't, because I sold pretty early. I remember because you had a day or two, and I'm not. I can share receipts if anyone ever wants it, but I think I sold around 310, 315.
So this is the new cybersecurity co. Who are they comparable to?
Oh, I know, is I cannot pronounce the name of that chief technology officer.
For SailPoint?
Yeah, right. Look at the top in the news right there.
Let me come back. Where?
SailPoint and out.
Well, I can pronounce Chandra. Gnanasambandam. Gnanasambandam.
Sounds good to me. So, yeah. I don't know anything about this company.
Probably would be maybe interesting to look into.
Interesting question, Rob. What do you think of Celsius now after they made an acquisition? Can you support a dying brand by buying a brand? That's the question.
Wait, ain't no way. I watched a Laker game and a new episode of Severance, and y'all still going.
I don't see Celsius here. It's hard for me to say because it's really hard to know what the growth rate is of Alani Nu, how much that changes things, because the Celsius brand is dying. Like, that sounds crazy to say. That's the reality. Celsius is making this acquisition because they are getting killed. So it's hard for me to say, though, how strong Alani Nu is going to be. That was a big thing. You're a $5 billion company acquiring another company for $1.8 billion. Like, that's a big acquisition. And so it's understanding how much that impacts them.
Monster should have bought them.
I know.
Monster effed up. Oh, it's come back down.
Yeah.
Mark was like, super exciting. Celsius dying. A game for chat. Name a company that is up 2.5 million% in the last 100 years.
Total return?
Pretty sure I can probably name one that's up more than that. Like, if that's the bear, I think that is reserved for, was it Philip Morris / Altria? Total return basis.
That's what I was asking, total return.
Yeah.
AL. Air lease?
Air what? Maybe he's talking about a different. Yeah, he's talking about a different company. He says bingo. I guess it wasn't. This chart is not correct. Air lease.
Okay, yeah, he's probably reacting to Philip Morris and saying bingo. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, are you saying bingo for Philip Morris? Okay, yes, he was. Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone needs to know that if you're going to be investing. Because yeah, because we were like AL.
Yeah, I was like AL. What the hell?
Air lease.
Okay.
And for anyone, Philip Morris is a complicated story. The reason why you're up so much on Philip Morris is that there was a lot of spinoffs along the way, dividends, all the way through, and you'd own shares in a bunch of different companies by now. Like, it's insane. Just buying Philip Morris back in those days.
No, I know aircraft leasers are interesting companies. That's not why I was like at Air Lease. I think we've talked about quite a few of them.
Well, I'm long one right now.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah. Wait, isn't FinTech boy Garzi?
Yeah.
Garzi, then I'm long one. What's going on?
I don't think maybe he doesn't know that that is one. He doesn't know much about that thesis. I don't think he was around when people were talking about it.
No, Garzi. Confirm to me you are Garzi.
Oh, I know he is.
Okay. That's what I was like, there's no way. He has to know. Can. Oh, I don't know your aircraft leaser position.
I just told him.
You just told him? Yeah. Yeah. I have, and I actually added to it today. I'm hoping I don't regret it.
He disagrees that that's not an aircraft leaser.
What do you mean? It's part of their portfolio. They do mostly the other stuff, but they have. He's saying no. You're wrong. They're not like a pure play, right? They're mostly the other stuff by now, but they have bodies.
Saying not parts, but straight up planes.
Oh, well.
There was one one that IPO'd recently that I was like, this is really interesting, and I didn't buy it, and it went up like 80%.
You remember the name? By the way, pause real quick. All 300 of you, if you guys are enjoying yourselves, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, wherever you're watching this.
It wasn't AirCap.
AirCap is the ones the Europeans like in the server.
It wasn't AirCap though.
Oh, that is right. Garzi did. And he's mentioned that to me. Stop gaslighting. Okay. Number 37 like was mine. Thank you, Hans. I appreciate it.
Oh, maybe it was Air Lease that I was looking at then.
Air Lease didn't IPO recently.
No. Oh, no. I'm trying to. I thought it started with an L. Like. It doesn't matter. They had a large amount of them owned by one like pretty big investor. I remember thinking like, huh. And then I looked and I was like, oh, they're pretty interesting.
Yeah, wait. I just rechecked. They do have aircraft. I was like, what? I'm certain they did. No, they do have it. They do have it, Garzi. They have a few. It's just not as material as the other stuff. And it's not their focus. But they have a lot of Boeing 737s and Airbus's A320s. Well, when I said a lot, I didn't mean to say a lot because it's not as big as the other stuff, but they have some. So that technically, they have a leasing.
I'm like, I'm really annoyed because
you're trying to figure out what this name was.
Yes.
I had to search because I was like, what? I thought they had both. Of course, they're mainly focused on the other stuff. Their newest acquisition was interesting.
The company. Sorry, I'm like not thinking. I didn't say much today.
No. I'm having fun. We're not gonna bury the lead here. I'll tell the audience. So the stock I'm talking about is FTAI, and they presented a stupidly interesting opportunity recently because there was a short report by Muddy Waters, which is a very reputable, very, very, very reputable research firm. Beater, how you doing, Beater? Beater had a field day today.
Yeah, I saw. I was celebrating with him because I was having a field day too. I was in there like, we can all celebrate in here. Let's go.
I sent him the meme of South Park, said because he was posting about the shorts of his stock, and then yeah, that was him today. He was like, we have to crush the shorts. Yeah. But yeah, the MPW shareholders had a good day. I know we're already, Fiscal, if you're still in here, also both of you, congratulations on your MPW long. But yes, FTAI. So yeah, they had a short report come out from Muddy Waters. It was a lot of baloney. Long story short, bada bing, bada boom. We get our 10K filing here, and all the stuff that basically they said would occur really didn't really pan out. Independent audit and all that. So yeah, there was a great question in the earnings call today. I don't know how you agree with or how you feel about it, but they were asked about changing the accounting so that this quote unquote confusion doesn't happen again, because they want to switch. And then the management said they're looking. They even gave a target when they're going to switch over. It was when EBITDA surpasses, I believe it was 50%. And they want to switch over to manufacturing accounting versus leasing accounting.
I held them for a little bit, and I don't hold them anymore. So I didn't listen to the call. I had other calls I was listening to. In fact, there's one I got to listen to tomorrow that was today. But why was it down?
Broader market.
So report then just kind of meh?
No, I mean the report for me was good. It's just it already rallied so much going into the report. So like, what did we expect from it?
Kind of, I don't know. It kind of depends on what you mean by rally.
Yeah, of course. You're looking at this and you're like, it's still dead. But basically, I think what people were wanting from the report was like clarity on, hey, what's up with this short report? You guys gonna file or not? And we already got that confirmation. That was this jump here. So from here to here, this 33% jump that happened in a day, was the management saying we are filing on time. We're not having a delay. Because obviously for the shorts, that was the argument, or part of the argument that
Right.
All right. I think we can wrap up here.
Yeah, I need to go to bed. MicroStrategy's down 6.6% now. My 2x levered long short's gonna be nice tomorrow.
What about IonQ? What's IonQ doing?
Well, there's no volume, but it looks like it's down like 1% still. Yeah, it's down 0.9%. I'm sure that the others will follow too. I don't think the press release is going to matter.
Yeah.
Didn't even matter after ours. I saw it.
Nope. There's no appetite. Retail is getting margin called, and they're just getting swiped away.
It's funny how you keep on thinking that retail doesn't matter, but I was saying this to someone, I was like, retail has actually become something that matters in the market now.
Oh yeah, they're forced to be reckoned with.
Well, I mean, Palantir is a $200 billion company. It's 50% retail.
That's an insane figure to think about.
Right?
That's an insane figure to think about. Wow. Well, the total capital under retail management is in the trillions, I believe.
Right.
So if enough people get together, yes, magic can happen.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, gentlemen and ladies out there in the audience, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed what you saw here today, the 3 hours that we came and spoke with you, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're curious about joining the Capital Mindset Club, our only sponsor on the show, you guys can check the link down below where you can see all of our pitches, our portfolios, and all that jazz, as long as you fit the criteria and the vibe with the rest of the community, which we have discussions pretty much every day. Okay, I won't be doing the weekly call for all the members because it is late. I ended up staying up too late on the live stream, but I will be doing it tomorrow instead. So look forward to having that with you guys tomorrow. Other than that, I'll hop on for a little bit to have like post live stream talk with any of you who so wish. And we'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Bye.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.